Well, hello and welcome to our holiday hoopla. Can you believe it's already the end of 2024? What an incredible year it's been, one filled with growth, learning, and, well, so much to celebrate.
Absolutely. And today's show is packed with excitement. We're celebrating you, looking back at 2024's biggest wins, and previewing what's to come in 2025. And we're also giving away some incredibly fun prizes, plus a special performance from the elves. So stay tuned for that. But before we start, let's warm things up. In the chat, get your typing fingers ready. What are you excited about for 2024? Drop one word in the chat to describe what you're most excited about, for 2025, not 2024, and see what are you excited about. And we'll give you guys a second to do that. There we go.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
Great to see Allison in the house.
And Jeanette says growth. Diane is saying better health for 2025. Excellent. Those are good ones.
Yeah, welcome Charlene Day, Darlene Hanson.
Beautiful. And self-discipline and 5-day reset from Katie Murphy. Yes, there's some good stuff happening there. Awesome. So let's start off with a look back at 2024, the wins, the growth, and all the moments that made this year very special. All right, everyone, grab your confetti if you have some, and your favorite celebratory drink, because it's time to look back on all the incredible moments that made this year shine.
That's right. This is where we roll out the highlights and really just give a big cheer for your amazing achievements as wellness educators, and maybe even say, wait, was that really this year?
Yes. So let's kick off with the 3 VFL episodes with the highest attendance rates this year. So the first one coming in strong was the telomere story with Dr. Bruce Daggy. The second one is Fruit Secrets for Bone Health with Dr. Sharon Hushman. And the third was our Leaner for Life in January with Dr. Bruce Daggy as well. So I think you're seeing a trend in that we're looking for bone health, Leaner for Life, and aging well.
All right, on. And this year's emails with the best open rates are how Jeannie lived longer and why you need to know. That was back in March. And say goodbye to yo-yo dieting, discover the secrets to sustainable weight. And that was January 10th. And then Dr. Daggy's two lasting weight strategies. And by the way, these are emails that we send on your behalf to your customers that we write, design, and send on behalf for you.
Yes. And finally, let's dive into 2024's 3 most read Wellness Center articles. So the first one was Bon Appetit, the surprising snack for stronger bones. Number 2 was what's the most expensive vitamin? And number 3, sneaky ways salt creeps into your diet.
Now, of course, our speaker, Dr. Kathy, would know that one, what's the most expensive vitamin, because I thought it was her upline, Jeannie, who asked Roger that question. Maybe I'm wrong, but finally, the biggest highlight, which is, of course, you, our incredible educators. You know, we've actually helped you guys launch 57 wellness communities, which has inspired others and led with education. And you guys have, again, led with education and not leading with sales. You've learned now to lead with education and then wait for buying signals. And that's when you have those welcomed sales conversations and then built those lasting connections. So we cheer you on for your work there.
Yes, keep shining with that. All of your passion and hard work is very inspiring, and it's been really fun to watch so many of you put together those communities. Mm-hmm. And you've truly been the heart of this community, so we're also incredibly grateful for you here.
Now, again, you know, we really couldn't have done it without the incredible guests and contributors who joined us this year, who helped us curate credible and science-based content, helping you educate your community to make healthier life choices. whether they shared stories of their journeys, taught us something new, or simply cheered us on. They've helped make this the year to remember. In fact, we have another special person here with us today, and she is coming up next. Okay, so Dr. Kathy, and am I saying this right? Is it Hoeft?
It is. Hoeft, like the trash bags.
Okay. Well, welcome. Welcome to the show. And we're so excited to have you here today. You're a physical therapist, a health coach, social media expert, and the founder of My Hummingbird Wellness, which is such a perfect fit for a wellness business. And it's clear you do wear many hats. And as you guys know, as wellness educators, you do, from marketing to customer service and whatnot. So it's great to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you very much for including me in this great, wow, I can't believe all the great people you had this year. That's amazing. So I'm very excited to be part of this group.
Well, yeah, you're our anchor. So we love it.
Here we go. Let's hope.
Now, Kathy, before we dive in further, could you tell us a little bit more about who you are and what drives your passion for wellness?
Absolutely. I am probably a little bit different than everyone else. I love to kind of help people. As my father would say, I'd probably save the world before I got paid ever. And that started very early in my life. And my passion is truly to have someone come in that's cranky, had a bad day, or hurts, and they leave happy. And if I could do that, I am the happiest person ever. That's what feeds me. That's what fuels me. And it is truly my passion every day. It makes every day very easy for me because every person has a new story. And so therefore I get to, do something good or bad for them every single time.
So you've got a great background as a physical therapist and health coach. I just want to ask you, Kathy, what first inspired you to step into the medical field? I guess we'd consider that as the medical field.
Right. Hopefully, yes. It is truly the medical field. I will say that personally, I got into this because as a child, I probably played every sport and I got hurt a lot. I think in 1 year, 5th grade, maybe I broke my wrist 5 times. By the time I've bought my orthopedics, 2 Porsches probably. And my mother informed me that I better marry a orthopedic surgeon or you better learn how to fix yourself. And that has been my driving force ever since then. And I truly, people get hurt, things happen. I love getting to learn and figure it out. And I've probably had every injury that I've ever seen. So, it kind of makes it a little bit easier, but it's truly been my, from the beginning, it was one of those things, I better learn how to do this. So that's where I started.
That's so good and so relatable being a fellow sports person. So I get that. Now, you've combined physical therapy with holistic health. So was this blend of science and wellness always part of your vision, or was it something that had to evolve over time?
I would say that one really evolves. Holistic wasn't even probably a word, and I'm going to show my age, when I first started. It was all about black and white and medical. You have an injury, the piece of paper says this is what we fix, and that's it. Nutrition and fitness didn't really come into a true thing until much later in my career. So, it's been kind of fun. I personally love to learn. So, every year I have a new thing to kind of add to my, as we say, bag of treats, or my bag of how I fix people or how I work with people. And so for me, holistic has become in the last 10 years really, really important. Obviously as I own age, you learn that nutrition becomes such a thing. Supplementation is something that, the earth is not producing everything that we need anymore. We're all too busy. So, really diving into the whole health span to try to increase it for people, you really need to add everything. And it's no longer just an ache or a pain. It's, okay, well, let's see how I can fix that ache and a pain with 10 other ways besides a medicine or it's just a treatment.
You make a great point about how the earth is not providing us, our food system. They've stripped a lot of things from the soil, so we're definitely, even though you might get something that's from the ground, it may still be lacking in, micronutrients, things like that. So let's talk about my hummingbird wellness. I like the name. What motivated you to take the leap from practicing, and I'm not sure if leap is the word as much as maybe integration, but making that connection of practicing physical therapy and more traditional medicine, if we will call it that, into creating your own wellness business?
Right. I think that in a brick and mortar situation and with clients, there's only so many hours in a day and there's only so many appointments in a day. And, there's a lot of information. COVID showed us a lot. This is probably where I started into the, internet as everyone else did and learned about social media and did all this. And for me, I looked online and was kind of scared by what I saw. Like there was a lot of people out there saying a lot of things that I might not say was all accurate or perfect or great information to give to all ages that were maybe watching it. And so, I really felt like there needed to be someone who was maybe just a little bit more realistic. I am a true realistic. I'm not going to promise you that you can lose 1,000 pounds in a week. It's just not going to happen. And it does take work and you got to do things. But there is a right way to do certain things and there's a wrong way, especially when it came to exercise and rehab. I really struggled with what I was seeing out there, and there's really easy ways. So I decided I can only see 5 or 10 or 15 patients a day. If I go online, my patients can bring it with them, which is lovely. So home exercise plans became better, and I could add them a nutrition program, and I could educate them on supplementations, but then they could also share with their friends and their family. And that has created this community of like-minded people that all want to actually learn a little bit and get some sneak peeks. And it's always more fun to do something that's hard with a group, in my opinion.
That's so excellent. And I love what you did by taking that information that was very conflicting and finding a way to integrate it a little nicer and bring your own swing to it. So beautiful. You're also affiliated with Shaklee. So what was it that drew you to work with this company, and how does it align with your mission as a wellness educator?
So I will say that I was probably a hard person to get to do Shaklee. When you work for a company and then you work for yourself, you get to have a little bit more choices. When you work for a company, it's really hard to promote one product because God forbid someone in that group didn't like it and then it becomes an issue. So, that's always a challenge for healthcare practitioners that work for a facility and not on their own. So I had a good friend, Suze Jeffries, who is my team leader. And you know what? She definitely poked and poked and poked. Now, as a girl who is a nutrition girl, I want you to know that I probably didn't eat all day, and the only thing I did eat was a pretzel that was filled with peanut butter, and she would just destroy me. And she wasn't wrong. Okay, let's be real. She was really quite correct, but I had no time to listen, nor did I have any time to make meals. So, until she actually brought me meals and did that and was like, look, there's more to nutrition, and this is a company you're going to like. So I'm a geek. I said, fine, prove it to me. And so she would send me the science leagues of Shaklee, and I was like, oh, okay, well, hold on. And then I had some blood pressure issues. So that's my true story is that my blood pressure was high. I did not want to go on blood pressure medicine. My doctor does not believe in supplements. I kind of laughed at him and I said, well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to eat a Mediterranean meal and I'm going to try these supplements. And my blood pressure came down and he said, I don't believe in supplements, but whatever you're doing, keep doing it. So that was kind of the big test. And then really Shaklee for me is a couple things. It's a family, it's a group that actually thought like me, which was kind of nice. And that's hard to find, that really care about helping others by sharing what they find to be helpful to them and being able to offer suggestions and a place to be to have those conversations. I mean, it's really hard in today's world to find people that all think the same way, which is kind of nice in Shaklee. And I think that that's my biggest thing. Jeannie Tavell, I got to give her a shout out. She figured me out real quick, I think within about 10 minutes of meeting me. I am driven by competition. And she put out a contest of whoever makes this next level, I'll buy them dinner at the nicest restaurant in Naples. And I was like, I'm going to win that. And that's easy. And for me, that kind of gave me that driving force I needed. I mean, I loved what I was learning from the Shackley education and all of the research, but the fact that someone got me, figured me out, and was like, ooh, let's poke her, let's challenge her. I was like, all right, I can do this. And so, I really did that. And I have to say, I'll shout out to Shackley. Their protein's amazing. And they have awesome products that I can use with my rehab. So I kind of really feel confident when I offer suggestions and protocols for my rehab patients. And that's really where I use the two together. Hopefully that answers your question.
Well, I love your story, and I know there's just so much, so many parts and pieces to that, and I hope people are sort of gleaning some ideas if they know someone who's also maybe a physical therapist. I think one thing is searching for physical therapists that are independent, I guess would be one thing, might be an easier way to go that way, and then also considering looking at ways to motivate your own team the way Jeannie was able to sort of find your hot button. I think is also something to know. We did have a question from Shirley Karitnik. Where in Canada, the US is your clinic? And do you have a clinic or just online?
Yes. So right now I do have a clinic. Unfortunately, it isn't a private club, so I can only see the private members in my clinic. But that's why I also made my Hummingbird Wellness, so that you can have me online. So you can direct message me, tell me what's hurting. I can work with you one-on-one, or if you go to the app and it's your back, or if you say it's shoulders and I don't have shoulders up yet, I will put it up so that all of the exercises are there and how you would progress and how to do your own treatment so that you can do it. Physical therapy can be very expensive. It's cash-based or insurance. It's also time. So I really try to make it so there's no excuses and give you all of the things and the tools that you would need to do so that you can treat yourself. And I feel like online gives us that. I really can I can evaluate you. I can teach you. I can teach your family how to help you and fix you in different areas if I need to have someone's hands. But for the most part, you can really treat now online and through an app and get in my opinion, if you use me, you can get great care.
Excellent. And I love how you're talking about the online part, because you're very active online, sharing insights and engaging with your followers. So you mentioned a little bit of how you interact and how you approach content creation. But do you have any other tips when it comes to creating content that helps you build trust with your audience?
Yes, I think this is probably the most important that I would say. Trust doesn't come overnight. Just because you have a title doesn't mean anything, in my opinion. You have to be honest. You have to be legit. So you need to tell people what you don't like and what you do like and how you did it. Look, everyone, let's be real. How many of you actually like to exercise? A show of hands, do you actually like it? Not really. No one really likes it. I mean, I might be an odd duck and I do, but for the most part, no one does. So let's be honest about that. So let's make exercise part of your life. So you're going to park 10 cars away so that you got that walk-in. Didn't call it exercise. You need to go to the store. So therefore, you just did it. Social media should be honest. It should be helpful. I try to give a tip every day, depending on who at the front desk says something hurts. That's usually my tip for the day, because if she hurts, probably someone else does too. And I try to make it so that it's real and that it's something you can do anywhere, not just in the gym or just in your room. Like, you could do it in the office. Like, if you look at last week, posture was right in the chair. Like, you own a chair. How many of you are actually sitting in the whole chair? Do you sit only on the top of the chair, or are you using the whole chair? And how good is that posture right now? So
I'm going to pick on my staff who sit poorly in their chairs now.
See? If they're millennial, they have really bad posture.
Actually, I love your point about how it's one thing that I like about sports. Like back when I would play hockey, I'm not going out for exercise. I got to chase the puck, right? If I got to ride my bike, I've got to get home. Once you ride out there, if you don't ride it back, you're stuck. So you've got a reason to do it. So I like that. I just wanted to circle back for a minute. We missed this question, and that was growing a wellness business is, it's not easy. And I think this is important to know. Some people might think, hey, because you're a physical therapist and you've got the doctor name, you might just be able to grow your business like no problem. Nobody says no to you. Maybe you could just share a couple thoughts on that. Did you run into any walls where you thought, I'm just going to just kill this, and all of a sudden reality kind of bites?
Yeah, there's a lot of that. Listen, if it's not challenging, you're not going to make money. So let's all just be real about that. It should be hard if it's going to work. All right. As much as everyone thinks there's a dream that it's super simple, it's not. And we all have walls. But the thing about it is you have to keep going back at it. And you have to believe in what it is you're trying to do. So if it's a product line like Shackley, you have to believe in it. It's not easier for me because I'm a doctor. Does it work because it's a protocol of my total joints? Yes, but there's a lot of people who say, I don't do protein powders, or I don't like to do that company, or I won't use, like we all have those roadblocks. But what you have to do is accept that there's lots of things to offer them. And if you can back up what you're offering, then it can work. And they have to trust you. You can't just push and sell. I believe you said it right in the beginning. You have to educate. You need to get them to know that you're not trying to sell them. I'm not trying to sell every day. What I'm trying to do is educate. I'm trying to help them feel better. And if I can do that and they happen to want to use a product that I may have, then that's amazing. But I always go at it as I'm not trying to sell. I'm always going at it as I'm trying to educate, which means you got to know your stuff. You should learn why you're giving what you're giving, or why you're offering what you're offering, and maybe all the different things that it could do, and be wise. Know that there are other products on the line. Know what other products do and which ones are good, which ones are bad, and why. You have to be able to be honest and say, look, if you only like to use AG1, then that's all you like to use. Okay, but you could add this and it might really help. And then they trust you a little bit more because you're not just pushing always and trying to sell one thing. You're trying to offer them education.
I really appreciate that feedback, for everyone to know that it's just as hard for Dr. Kathy. We should just call you Dr. Real Kathy. she gets real all the time.
Yes.
One of the thoughts that I had is, so this is what we teach, right? Is that setting an appointment is really the key. That's when things happen with a client, is you have that one-on-one conversation, and then you can discuss moving forward and the ways to move forward. But to get to a booking, basically you need to have conversations with people. So I'm wondering if you could just share a tip on how do you actually start a conversation with a client where, it's not awkward, or it doesn't feel like you're coming in at the wrong angle. Could you just share maybe how you'd start that conversation that can lead you to eventually helping them to consider Shackley?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I do get a little lucky there because they got to kind of share their whole health history with me when I'm treating them as a patient. So I do get a little step up on that one. But the thing is this, as I said, I think sharing your story is key. I think, when you can say, oh my God, I had that same problem. And they're going to ask, well, what'd you do? You can share a story. So it's not that you're selling, you're just sharing because you now have a similar thing that they too have experienced. I think that's really where I start. I really try to listen. It's vital. I know everyone thinks talk, sell, but it's not. It's all about listening and hearing what they're saying. I think a lot of people in today's world we're so rushed, we miss. A lot of people don't hear what's being said. They've already looked at something before, go to the doctors, and they've already looked at your sheet like, oh, this is what's wrong with you. Could you hear me out just a little, and so I feel like if you start your conversation with people that you meet and they are heard, you'd be shocked what they'll tell you. I mean, if they really feel like you're listening, if you've made good contact in the respect of look at them in the eyes, explain, be like, oh, wow, that happened. Like, tell me more. Like, kind of entice them to share with you. It's so much easier than, it's not a sales pitch once again. It's a story. It's an explanation of what they did because they might have experienced or a friend did. And I feel like that's the way to go at it. It really needs to be that you're honest once again, but that you listen and that you're giving information or education based on what they're looking for, not for what you're trying to tell them about.
Could you share what would be a question that you would ask? So I'll change it this way. You as a physical therapist have the luxury of being able to, they expect you to ask them questions. So you've already earned that right. What would you tell somebody who's not a physical therapist, right? They're not in the medical field or anything like that. How would they, or what question do you think that they might want to lead with that could open that conversation that'll move them forward?
So I love the concept or the thought process of health span. So I think that when you're talking to people, asking them about their children or their grandchildren, depending on who you're talking to, or their great grandchildren, and asking them, well, how do you feel when you get to play with them? Or, oh gosh, you're going to see the grandkids, how are you prepping for that? There's ways of figuring out how to dive into what do they take? Do they use supplementation? Do they have, what is their program? Ask them about their family life or what they're looking to do, or ask about exercise, even though you're not in health. I mean, exercise is a beautiful thing. Like, well, how do you feel? Cold season's the easiest. I mean, did any of you get cold? How'd you get rid of your cold last week? Or, I heard you were sick, or what'd you do? Chicken noodle soup? Well, this is what I do, so I think that there's ways if you, once again, listen and know, but if you don't know this person at all, and you're just randomly meeting them, I will say this, I give this to Suze Jeffries. Like, we're on an airplane. The first thing she does is she does her bag when we get on the airplane, and she's got all of the little drink things. And she offers it to the person next door. No, they're not asking. They have their headphones on. They're not listening. No. She is right in there like, hey, do you want to try this? This is the best for the plane. It's a hydrator, and this is going to help you. You're going to feel better when you get off this plane. Damn if they don't just immediately take it. They talk for 10 minutes. I, of course, have my earphones on, not listening. But yeah, she does that, and it's fantastic, and it opens the conversation. And of course, they ask, well, what do you do? And she gives them the whole thing. And within 5 minutes, there's a business card being passed, and she's already got them on their email list, and she's sending them information. It's amazing. It can be that simple. Not all of us are that good. Trust me, I don't. I sit there and giggle at her, kicking her. Like, what are you doing? This is a perfect stranger. But I got to tell you, she does it at the hairdressers. I did it once at the hairdressers. I got to tell you, it works like a charm. Like, I was sitting there. They're like, what are you putting in your drink? I'm like, well, all you people are being snotty and sick. So I put in a triple defense. And they were like, well, can I have one? I was like, yes, here you go. And it worked amazing. So, you just got to be creative, and you got to be bold. You got to get out of your comfort zone. I mean, there's nothing fun about a perfect stranger and be like, hi, this is what I got. You want to know about it? Like, you got to tease it out. You got to be like, hi, look, I got this and you don't. I bet you want it, and play the game a little bit, make it fun.
I love that. Well, and you're coming from a place of giving in that situation. So I guess that's the tip there, is carry little sticks of energy packets and powdered things in your pockets. Last question before we move to Kristen to ask her question is, could you just share how social media has played a role in your building your hummingbird business?
I got to tell you, the best thing I've ever had is that I obviously work in a brick and mortar too. I went to work one day and they were like, we didn't see a video today. What's up? Like, yesterday I fixed my butt, but today I got nothing. I was like, dang, like, I had no idea that they were watching it. I mean, people who you don't even know, because, when you look on your social media, you can see like how many are your friends that look, and then how many are non-friends. Okay, there's a lot of stalkers out there. Like 78% of the people that are looking at your stuff are not friends of yours, which is awesome, which is why you have to keep doing it, and why you have to keep it interesting and exciting. And you want to pretend that you got to think in your head, this person doesn't know anything. I'm going to show them something that makes them go, wow, I'm going to check her out. I mean, that's the whole purpose of doing stories versus reels. The story is about you and your personal life. The reel is about educating, creating this ability for people to trust you. And so you really want to, do that. You really do need to make it different. The story is your personal stuff. Your reel is about who you want people to know you are and what you're trying to be about. So for me, my reels are all about how to make you feel better, how to give a quick tip, because apparently people really watch it and they really look for it. Like, well, I don't have one for today. I was like, I ran right in the office and was like, crap, here I go. And I did one because they noticed, and that was kind of awesome. And just know that people do, they really do watch you. And it's kind of fun when you hear that, because it does make it easier. Look at your reels and look at the numbers. It does matter. So when you see one that does really well, I mean, I got my first 1,000. I was like, oh my goodness, like, what did I do? And then I did another one. I got 1,000. Do you think any of them had anything to do with it? No. I was like, how do I figure this out? Like, how do you know what's the best social media technique to get people? What time of the day? If I push that I'm from Naples, there's all kinds of things. And it is, you got to play with it, and you really got to work at it. But consistency is the key, and consistency is hard. And that's with all of this. Like there's weeks when I'm like, I just don't have it in me. And it's like, thank God I had some saved up and in the video chain that I can just dump into the calendar. But, consistency is the key, and social media is not easy. And yeah, you got to think hard on trying to figure it out. I tried to do like a whole social media calendar and do all that. And then it ends up that I get there and I'm like, I'm not feeling that today. I don't want to do shopping lists. I want to do, side pain, or I have a fever. What do I do? Okay, you go home, like just, you got to come up with some great ideas based on your day.
Everybody who's watching, hopefully you guys are taking some notes here. There's a little bit of social media 101 happening here, and these are some important points because actually in my research, the social media is sort of moving. It's called the TikTokification of social platforms. Now we realize that TikTok is, having its challenges and may not even be here in this year, but social media in general has actually moved in that direction where they're moving less away from based on which, who you follow and which friends you have towards what are you interested in. That's why TikTok has been so successful, is it shows people stuff based on their interests. So even though they've never met you before, they can still find you. And short form video is such a critical piece of that. We did a short form video webcast earlier this year. So I'm really just excited to see that you kind of echoing that, Dr. Kathy. So Kristen, let's let you ask your question and we'll proceed. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, you talked a lot about stories, Kathy, and we know that you won Shackley's Story Contest recently. So congratulations on winning that. So can you share a little bit with us about what your story was about and what inspired you to tell it?
Yes. I definitely went to the health side of it and my education of Shackley. And being a practitioner, sometimes it is hard, as I said, to pick a product. And that's why it was so important for me to kind of share the story of, it is a challenge and why do I want to do this? And the education that I trust in Shackley. And that's kind of what I shared. I, of course, shared the story of my family of Shackley, which has been fantastic and helpful to keep me in the game. But the true story for me was the importance of research and science-backed. And I think that that's something that all of us can kind of, be confident with and be behind, because at least I know that what I'm suggesting is something that is a good thing.
Is that the surfer?
Hold on 1 second. So
While Dr. Kathy is doing that, I think it's an important thing to say as well is you'll notice her energy is infectious. So it's not even just sort of what she's saying, but the enthusiasm and kind of the bright shining light that comes out of her when she's saying it. But I just hope everyone here doesn't have the feeling of like, I'm not like her, maybe I'm not as enthusiastic or as sort of, bright and bubbly as the way she is, so how can I do this? Again, it's important that you're going to resonate with your own audience in your own way, right? People who will kind of connect with the way Kathy is they're going to connect with that. And the ones who maybe want a more low-key style, they'll have a different way. So, so we'll let you finish that thought, Kathy.
Yes, I'm so sorry. Apparently someone came to my door.
Yeah.
I think that the biggest thing is that the story is legit. The story has to be true to you. And stories do allow people to become and find you human. And so everyone has a story. We all do. We have a story for probably anything you do. Mm-hmm. And with Shackley, the importance is knowing what you believe in and how that story can help you push forward, as well as help others relate to you and be able to hopefully create their own story and share it to the next person. You ask about what's the question, how you entertain. A story is really the beginning. If you're just meeting someone, that's an easy story. Like, oh, this was me and this is why I do what I do. And I get to stay home with my kids and I love my life because I have time and freedom and energy. And the reason why is because I work for this amazing company. So you can really make the story whatever is your story, but it really will help to allow people to relate to you and want to be part with you.
Right on. I think that's you, Kristen, or I guess it's me. Maybe you could share with us, how has sharing your story impacted your business?
I think for me, it was more of a confidence of allowing my team to know what I thought about them. And I think that a lot of the time, we're also in our own worlds in every state or wherever we all are. And I think it's important that once in a while you come together and you all know that you're on the same team. And you don't get that a lot in business. We all are kind of competing against each other. And that's not the case here, at least with Shackley. And the story was so great because it allowed them to know that I was there for them. Like I go to people's communities all the time just to do lectures for them. I'm not doing any business there. They're doing the business. I'm just educating. And that's the fun of this. I mean, where else do you get to work and be where there isn't this, cutthroat or, trying to steal people? And we don't do that. And that's so lovely. And I feel like that story allowed people to know the true me and understand, like, look, I'm not looking to steal. We all have enough business. There's enough business around, and how important it is that you trust me and let me come and help you, by maybe selling more, by me coming and educating them on something you might not know about. Like I did a lecture the other day on balance for, an amazing person, and she was doing the Shackley. That was her part. So I think that that's kind of fun, and I think that that's important, and I think that's what my story really helped me with the most, is that it allowed everyone to know that, we're not threats. We're all trying to work together, and I believe in that.
Oh, that's excellent. Just being able to collaborate in such a powerful way is so helpful for anyone in business. So I'm glad that it helped you do that. Now, when it comes to story, how do you think other wellness educators can use story to inspire their communities and make healthier choices?
Yes. Wellness is key. Listen, we all have how we got into it. And as I said, really, no one loves to do wellness. Everyone likes to be, who wouldn't want to sit on the couch and eat ice cream all day? Like, I want to do that too, but we all have to have a reason to get up and go. And I think that a lot of wellness is, making it more real. You talk about me being real, but it is. Wellness is truly movement. It doesn't have to be the gym. It doesn't have to be this sets and reps and you have to do it for an hour. No, it needs to be movement. And it could be walking your dogs. It could be, playing with your kids in the backyard. It could be anything is what wellness is. And then adding into it and being so thoughtful about the story being everything, meaning wellness is not just movement. It also is sleep. It is also about food. It is also about balance and strength. It's so much that it has so many other things, supplements, food, all of those are conversations that if you look at any newspaper right now is being discussed. GLP-1s, what are we going to do about it? Well, hey, that's an easy go in for a wellness conversation of like, hey, have you thought about it? Are you doing it? Well, let me help you here because it's really important for you to know this, this, and this. Once again, as I said, it's all about educating. So wellness is way more than just strength and going to the gym. It's about the total package. It's about, really kind of meditating and feeling the day. And, the first thing we're supposed to do in the morning is go for a walk without any electronics. Let the sun hit your face and feel the earth. That's how you're supposed to start your day every day. And so share that. And make that part of your story.
I like that part about the grounding. Mm-hmm. I just saw someone talking about that, getting your feet on the ground and having a electrical discharge or whatever.
That's why I live in Florida.
Yeah, sun in the face in the morning, get that biorhythm going. Kristen, let's let you wrap it up on the last piece there. Thank you, Dr. Kathy.
You bet. Kathy, thank you so much for joining us today and for sharing a little bit about your story and how you're utilizing social and where it's led you, your wisdom, your tips, and all for the thriving of 2025. And we've learned so much. And I think I speak for everyone when I say you've truly inspired us to take the next steps with confidence, or at least I hope so.
Yeah, I mean, sorry to cut you off there, but I don't know about you guys, but I've already started mentally drafting what to add to our next steps in 2025. So thank you for all the golden nuggets there.
No problem. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So now we want to have a little fun with our audience, and we're going to go to a quick poll inspired by your story today.
All right, everyone, get ready to share your answers in the chat or choose from the poll pop-up, either way. So the question is, what's the first thing you'll focus on in 2025 after hearing Kathy's tips? Is it A, strengthening my online presence, B, engaging more on social media, C, building trust with my audience, or D, trying out all of the above? And we'll give you a couple seconds to fill that out.
All right. We got 10 seconds to go.
I like how most of you are looking into D, trying everything out. Might as well. All right, timer's up. And 67% of you chose D. You're going to try all of the above. Fantastic. With the rest of you coming in with trying one or two things. And whether you try one or two things or all of the above, any step you take in trying to strengthen your online presence, engaging more on social, or building trust is a step in the right direction. So congratulations to all of you for selecting one. With that, I think we're going to move on to our vision for 2025.
Yes, thanks, Kristen. Now that you guys are excited about 2025, and hopefully you are, let's talk about where we're headed and how we can support you. In 2025, we're really doubling down on what makes this community so special, and that is education.
That's right. And we've been teaching you to shift from leading with sales tactics to leading with education-based, or with an education-based strategy. Why is that? That's because it builds trust, it creates authentic relationships, and makes wellness conversations feel natural.
Yeah, you know, people who aren't showing buying signals, well, they're not ready for a sales pitch. They need to be, which by the way, there's nothing wrong with a sales pitch when it's welcomed, right? They need to be attracted and then nurtured with interesting value-driven content first.
Yes. So what exactly is educational marketing? It's very simple. It's about sharing valuable knowledge, just like what Kathy's been talking about, that sparks curiosity and action. So here's a little bit how that works.
All right, so step one is to share educational content, like posting it in your profile or in your business page or in your groups, etc., right? And you're sharing that content that's going to attract interest. It's going to capture attention. So again, you might be posting a wellness tip, something that maybe we've created for you, or a story, or success stories on social media, etc. Then you're going to nurture that engagement. So when they've liked or commented, then you're going to maybe reach out and thank them for doing that, interact them with them in some way, and again, build those relationships by starting conversations, and again, responding to comments. That's the big one. And then step three, invite action. So when the time is right, then maybe share an invitation to a wellness challenge that you're having in your discovery group, or invite them via a one-on-one message to join your newsletter. And ultimately, you're going to want them to book an appointment with you for either a discovery call where you can talk product, or something educational where you might have them fill out an assessment form, or you give them a presentation of some sort.
Exactly. So I'd love to hear from you all. What's your favorite way to educate your audience? Is it through videos? Is it tips? Is it live events? Maybe you do written posts. Drop your answer in the chat, and you can just do like videos, tips, live events, maybe written or blog type. But where do you like to, or how do you like to educate? We'll see how those roll in.
Yeah, what do we got? And just
so
a big
far, videos and posts from Pauline. Hi, Pauline. Nice to see you.
Shout out to Mary Riley and Maria out there, and Susan Butler, Bonnie Templeman in the live stream.
Excellent. Pam is saying wellness tips. Those are fantastic.
Hey, Pam.
Now they're rolling in.
Great to see you out there.
And Shirley says, that went really fast. have been started on stories on Instagram and Facebook. Way to go. Stories are a great way to do that. Donna says videos and posts. And Judy, all that was mentioned, reels, posts in my wellness community and Facebook group. Way to go. And Pam says hi, by the way, Jody.
Yeah, thank you. All right. So, now that you know the why behind educational marketing, let's talk about the how.
All right. So let's pause for a second. What does it really mean to be a wellness educator? Well, a wellness educator empowers others to take charge of their own health through easy to understand, actionable content. You don't need to be a scientist or a nutritionist. You just need to be someone who has a passion to help others. So think of yourself as a bridge. You're connecting people with resources and the tools they need to thrive. Now, before we move forward, let's talk about why our work as educators is so critical. The truth is we're at the brink of a health crisis. It's driven by poor nutrition. There's an overflow of toxins and unsafe chemicals in everyday products and in a lot of the food we eat. And the system we trust, well, it profits when we're sick, not when we're well. Hence why we always say it's sick care rather than well care. So these challenges remind us of the vital importance of your work in shifting people from reactive sick care to proactive health care, focusing on prevention, not just cures.
Yeah, that's a key word, moving again away from reactive to proactive. So next year, we'll create more content for you guys that focuses on the trifecta of cellular malfunction that is really the root of virtually every symptom and disease plaguing modern North Americans, and that is mitochondrial dysfunction, chronic inflammation, and oxidative stress. Because if you don't have good energy, then your body is going to struggle to heal itself and to do the things that the body is meant to do. So you need to know what they are, because when you know them, you can get closer to helping your clients understand the root of the healthcare epidemic and closer to helping yourself and your loved ones to heal, stay healthy, and be limitless during this precious lifetime. When we educate people about these core issues, we're really empowering them to take control of their health. And that's what being a wellness educator is all about.
Amen. And with that, I hope you took some notes on that. Let's go have some fun and win some prizes with our holiday Pictionary.
Yay.
Which we're very excited about with Holiday Pictionary. So welcome. Here is today's game and how it's going to work. So with Pictionary, it's going to be a virtual one. So we're going to have a video rolling, and the team's going to play it. And whoever guesses what is being drawn the fastest wins. So get your fingers ready on your keyboard to type it in there as fast as you can. We have 3 pictures that we're going to do, so you have 3 chances to be the first one to the punch. So type in the chat if you're ready. Just say, I'm ready, and we'll get those videos rolling. We're very excited. I've already seen one of the pictures. So
There we go. Allison's
okay,
ready. Jerry's ready. Yeah.
All right, so let's roll the first Pictionary video and see who gets it first. We're watching the chat.
Oh, there we go. Now we got something.
There we go. Shirley's coming in with the elf. Shirley Kirknick, you win that one. At least that's who I saw first.
That's who I saw. Yep.
And also, but it was really, really close. Allison, you were right behind her.
Yeah.
that was a fast answer. Well done, everyone. All right. So way to go, Shirley. So once we've gone through all the videos, we're going to draw the prizes, so hold tight. All right, who's ready for video number 2? I think everyone's got their keyboard hands ready. All right, let's roll video number 2. Oh, we're getting to some.
Yeah, there we go. Now we're. Whoa.
I got Katie Murphy in with the first correct answer of gingerbread. Way to
Yay,
go, Katie.
Katie.
You knew once that first arm came through, it was going to get very competitive. So well done, everyone.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, all right, we'll give everyone just a second and we'll do our final video. So this is the final one. So be quick to the typing. So let's roll that third picture video. All right. Ooh, this one could be tricky. There you go, Pam, for the win.
Whoa, Pam!
Sheehan, way to go with the mistletoe.
Yeah.
Awesome. Congratulations, everyone. For those of you who are able to get in there first, I know all of you are typing really hard, so thank you for participating. And with that, let's roll for some prizes. I guess we spin for prizes. We don't roll for prizes, but. Okay, so the first one, this is going to be for Shirley. Let's spin to see what Shirley wins. I like the little reindeer inside this. It's cute. All right, Shirley's winning a strategy session. Way to go, Shirley. The team will get in touch with you for that. Fantastic. The mistletoe was tough, Susan, definitely. All right, so Katie, let's see what you're going to be taking home today. Ready to spin when you're, there we go. Ooh, and we're getting a business resource. Excellent. And is that the book, Jody?
Oh, that is the energy book. Yeah, the Good Energy book by Dr. Casey Means.
Oh, good, good.
Thank you, Max, for clarifying that in my ear.
Thank you, thank you. Congratulations, Katie.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoy that book. And then let's roll or spin one more time for Pam to see what she's taking home. Yes, getting a Bluetooth mouse. Way to go, Pam.
Super handy.
If you have a laptop and you don't have a Bluetooth mouse, I definitely recommend getting one. It's a tough word. So congratulations, everybody. Way to go. Thanks for playing.
Yay.
And with that, we'll move on to our final segment.
Well, hey, thank you to everyone who joined us for our final show of 2024. Appreciate you being here.
And congratulations to all of our winners. So whether you want a strategy session, some wellness tools, or the gift of inspiration, we hope these prizes add a little extra sparkle to your holiday season and to your business.
But you know, really the biggest gift today has been the opportunity to spend this time with all of you guys, and of course having Dr. Kathy with us. Such an honor. Each one of you is doing something extraordinary. You know, you're not just running a business, you really are transforming lives.
Yes, and you're also empowering people to take control of their health and creating that ripple effect of wellness throughout your communities, which is such a beautiful thing. And before we wrap up, we'd love to bring Kathy back in for just a moment. And Kathy, we'll see if she's, there we go. Hey, Kathy. And we just love you to share, if you have a final message with the audience, what would you say to inspire and motivate them to keep going in the wellness industry, even when it feels challenging?
Yes, I think you use the best words. Empowering others to feel like they can do it. I think that's key, is giving them the tools, the education, and the support. And that's the key. Like, look, we are going to do social media. Make sure they write you, that you follow up with them and check in once in a while. A check-in is like worth $1 million. I mean, people just, you know, they think that, you know, you write once and then you're done with them. But if you go back like a couple of days later, you will have a friend for life. They'll be like, oh my God, they cared. They wrote me back and they wanted to make sure that I'm okay or that the information I gave them was helpful. So, you know, follow up is key, consistency, and really be true. Just be honest. You know, share what really works for you, what's really helpful that you hear, and be honest to someone. I feel like you'll keep a client and a friend forever if you do that.
Well, I love that. And Shirley asked a question. It's a little off topic, but what is the little critter peering at us from the bottom of the screen? And that is a tarsier. Yeah. Is he a mammal or a primate or something? But actually, I've seen one. They're just the cutest little things in Bohol in the southern Philippines. So, yeah, thanks for sharing those tips of wisdom, Dr. Kathy. I think there's just so many nuggets in there. And something that I would want to say, some things that I heard was persistence. Your upline was persistent with you. And I think that was necessary, right, to kind of break through to you. And what a what a worthy breakthrough that was. And then another one for me, I feel, is enthusiasm. You bring so much kind of joy, and you're excited about something that I just kind of want to check it out because just you're so excited about it. So I think there's something to be said about that. So thanks again for being with us. And with that, we want to leave you guys with a special performance from the elves. So thank you for your passion, your hard work, and your belief in what's possible. And I just also want to thank my team. Grace is with me running the teleprompter off to the side, and we've got CJ and Patrick. Patrick's here running all the little buttons, and he's doing it with a sore mouth from a tooth issue that we'll fix later. We got Max out there who's creating the content for you guys, and then of course Coach Kristen and all of our other team that's put all this together. So I just want to make sure that all the elves get a big thank you as well. So here's to making 2025 your most impactful year yet. Happy holidays, everyone. We'll see you in the new year. And here's a little song from the elves for you guys.
Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening. A beautiful sight, we're happy tonight, walking in a winter wonderland. Gone away is the bluebird, here to stay is the new bird, who sings a love song as we go along, walking in a winter wonderland. In the meadow we can build a snowman and pretend that he is Parson Brown. He'll say, are you married? We'll say, no, man, but you can do the job and you're in town. Later on we'll conspire as we dream by the fire to face unafraid the plans that we made, walking in a winter wonderland. Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening. A beautiful sight, we're happy tonight, walking in a winter wonderland. Walking in a winter, walking in a winter, walking in a winter wonderland.